Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video we got another game recap to discuss. We're looking at the games that happened over on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Lots of interesting games, and we'll discuss all of these coming up right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to the video here at the NHL channel. Before we get into this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe down below. Thank you all for your support. We know to all of you guys. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe button down below, and don't forget to comment down in the comment section below so we can all discuss today's videos. So in today's video, we got a lot of games to discuss. We had 3 over on Friday, 13 over on Saturday, and then 3 more over on Sunday. So we'll get to all these games over the past couple of days here. We'll start with the game that happened early on Friday. Now it's between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Carolina Hurricanes. It was an interesting game. Penguins were looking for yet another win. Carolina was looking for their second straight win, and it was the Hurricanes who came away with the victory. I think the Hurricanes were up 2-0 at one point and were held on for a 4-1 victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins, improving to 2-1-0, dropping the Penguins to 3-3-0, so a very good win there for Carolina. Natchez had a goal and an assist, Kotkaniemi had 2 assists, and Blake Roslovic, first goal as a member of the Carolina Hurricanes, and Gostisbehere also scored for the Hurricanes in the win, while O'Connor was the lone goal scorer for the Penguins in the loss. Interesting game there, but the Penguins, after beating down the Habs on Wednesday, do wind up losing in this one, so interesting note there. Then we saw the Jets have a fantastic and huge dominant win over the San Jose Sharks. They were up 4-1 after one. I think they had a couple more in the second. It wound up being an 8-3 score, an 8-3 demolition of the San Jose Sharks. Jets remain undefeated and improved to 4-0-0, while the Sharks fall to 0-3-2. So bad stuff there for San Jose. For the Winnipeg Jets, Perfetti, who had 2 goals and 2 assists, Nemesnikov, who had a goal and 3 assists, and Pionk, who had a goal and 3 assists, all had 4-point nights. Ehlers had 3-point night with 2 goals and an assist. Iafallo and Velarde both had 2 assists, and Connor Morrissey also scored for the Jets in the win. While Toffoli had a goal and an assist, Granlund had 2 assists, and Cunningham and Zeidelin both also scored for the Sharks in the loss. So it was an interesting game there. Sharks scored more goals than the Jets allowed it all season long, but still, the Jets absolutely annihilated the Sharks to remain undefeated. So interesting note there. And the last game on Saturday saw the Colorado Avalanche trying to avoid yet another loss, especially in regulation. They were able to overcome a 2-0 deficit and get out to a 3-2 lead. They would give up that 3-2 lead late in the third period to the Anaheim Ducks, but thanks to this goal here from Nathan MacKinnon and Noel Sportsnet, MacKinnon was able to get the overtime winner, power move to the net, and the Avalanche do wind up ending their losing streak to open the season as they improved to 1-4-0 on the season, and the Ducks fall to 2-1 on the season, so a very good win there for the Colorado Avalanche. For the Avs, Rantanen had a 3 assist night, Colton scored twice, MacKinnon, like we said, the OT winner, and Millsap both had a goal and assist for the Avalanche in the win, while Carlson, Terry, and Strome were the 3 goal scorers for Ducks in the OT loss. So a very resilient effort there from the Ducks, but was a very good win there for the Avalanche to end the losing streak they were on. That leads us over to a lot of games that happened over on Saturday. We saw a couple of early games on Saturday first. Ottawa Senators opened up an early 2-0 lead, never trailed in this game. Every time the Bolts scored, the Sens had an answer, and the Ottawa Senators would hand the Tampa Bay Lightning their first loss of the year. Sens win 5-4 as they improved to 3-2-0, while the Bulls will fall to 3-1-0 on the season. So bad stuff there for Tampa. For Ottawa, Batherson, who had 2 goals and an assist, and Sanderson, who had 3 assists, both had 3-point nights. Giroux had 2 assists, and Gregor, first as a Senator. Kachuk and Norris also scored for Senators in the win. While for Tampa, Kucherov had a goal and an assist, Cirelli had 2 assists, and Gensel, first as a Bolt, Paul, and Chaffee also scored for the Bolts in the loss. So it was an interesting game. It was a back and forth game. We did see Ottawa come away with a narrow victory on this one, so interesting note there. Then for the second time last week, we saw the Detroit Red Wings beat the Nashville Predators. A week ago, I think it was, the Red Wings wound up being the Nashville Predators 3-0. It was a shutout. And for the Predators who were looking for their first win, they lose yet again. They were up 1-0 early, but then I think they were down 2-1. They were tied early in the third, but then 3 goals in the third period from Detroit would lead Detroit to a 5-2 victory to improve them to 2-3-0, dropping the Predators, who are winless in their first 5 games, to 0-5-0. I talked about a stat in my last video. Another stat, teams who start out with 5 straight losses to begin a season has happened 23 times over the last 20 years. Like I said, excluding the shortened seasons, COVID stop season, and the lockout season. So excluding those 4 seasons, 23 times a team has opened the season with 5 straight losses. Only 1 time has that team been able to make the playoffs, and that was the 08-09 Philadelphia Flyers. So given that fact, it seems like Nashville's hopes of making the playoffs are in jeopardy at this point. So interesting note there, but the Preds do lose at the hands of the Red Wings. Kopp scored twice. Tarasenko, Larkin, and Edmondson also scored for Wings in the win, while Shannon Stamkos, first as a Predator, were 2 goal scorers for Predators in the loss. An interesting game there, but the Preds do fall at the hands of the Red Wings for a second time in as many weeks. Then we saw Dallas Stars break a tie in the second period, scored a couple of early third period goals, and held on to beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-1 as they improved to 5-1-0, shaking off that first loss of the year, while the Oilers failed to get closer to 500 and fall to 2-4-0 in the year. So that loss there for Edmonton. For the Stars, Hintz had a 3-point night with a goal and 2 assists. assists. Duchesne scored twice. Robertson had a goal and an assist, and Stankoven had 2 assists for the Stars in the win, while Draisaitl was the lone goal scorer for the Oilers in the loss. So a bad loss there as the Oilers continue to falter a little bit. Then we saw the Florida Panthers overcome 3 deficits, 1-0, 2-1, and 3-2, to score in overtime thanks to this goal here from Gustav Forsling, and helped the Panthers beat the Golden Knights 4-3 in overtime as they improved to 4-2-1, dropping the Knights to 3-2-1 on the season. So a very good and impressive win there from the Florida Panthers. Reiner had 3.8 with a goal and 2 assists. Bennett had a goal and an assist. Lundell and Ekblad both had 2 assists, and Louis Reiner and Forsling, who scored the OT winner, also scored for the Panthers in the win, while Pearson had a goal, his first as a Knight, and an assist. Roy had 2 assists, and Kolesar and Howland both also scored for the Knights in the OT loss. So it was an interesting game there, really tightly contested affair, but it was the Panthers who get the better of the Knights in this one. Then we saw the Minnesota Wild start fast, and for a second time in the early season, have now beat the Columbus Blue Jackets. They wound up beating them 3-1 this time instead of 3-2, as they keep their point streak going and improve to 3-0-2 in the season. Haven't gone a game yet without a point so far this year, so a really good start there for the Wild. Well, the Jackets fall 2-3-0 in the year, so bad stuff there for Columbus. For Minnesota, Kaprizov had a goal and an assist. Rossi and Zuccarello both also scored, and Gustafsson stopped 23-24 shots they faced in the win. While for the Jackets, Chinikov was a lone goal scorer. It was a light goal, and they do end up falling. So bad stuff there for the Jackets. Then we saw New York Rangers go to a multi-goal lead and were able to hold on, get a couple of late goals, and down the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-1, as they still have a season opening point streak and improve to 4-0-1 on the year. The Leafs 3-game winning streak ends, and they fall to 3-2-0 on the year. So bad stuff there for Toronto. For the Rangers, Carter scored twice, Smith and Zibanejad both had 2 assists, and Lafreniere and Panarin both also scored for the Rangers in the win, while Matthews was the lone goal scorer for the Leafs in the loss. So good to see Matthews get back on the board, but it was the Rangers who come away with a victory here. Then we saw the St. Louis Blues blow a 2-goal lead, but they recovered and were able to beat the Carolina Hurricanes 4-3, as they were able to get a very late goal from Kasperi Kapanen to give the Blues a regulation win 4-3 to improve to 4-2-0, dropping the Hurricanes to 2-2-0 in this season. So bad stuff there for Carolina. For the Blues, Neighbors and Joseph both had goal and assist, while Holloway, first as a member of the St. Louis Blues, and Kapanen both also scored for the Blues in the win. While Svechnikov had a goal and assist, Aho had 2 assists, and Gostisbehere and Roslovic both also scored in the second half of a back-to-back for the Hurricanes. So interesting note there. Then we also saw the Vancouver Canucks get out to an early lead and absolutely shut down the Philadelphia Flyers offense, beating them 3-0, as they have back-to-back wins and improved to 2-1-2, while the Flyers fall to 1-3-1 on the season. So that's stuff there for Philly. For the Canucks, Höglander, Besser, and Sherwood, first as a member of the Canucks, were 3 goal scorers, with Lankinen stopping all 26 shots he faced in the shutout and win for the Canucks. Well, for the Flyers, they, like we said, fall a little bit. So interesting note there. Then we saw a high-scoring, really high-stakes affair between the Capitals and the Devils. Second time in the first 2 weeks of the season that these two teams have played. The Capitals blew a few leads, but recovered in overtime and did beat the New Jersey Devils 6-5 in overtime, as they extend their winning streak and improve to 3-1-0, while the Devils, with the loss, fall to 5-1 on the season. For the Caps, Tom Wilson, 2 goals, including the OT winner, and an assist, and Strome, a goal, 2 assists, both had 3-point nights. McMichael had a goal and an assist. Chicken and Trevor Van Riemsdyk both had 2 assists, and Ovechkin and Mangiapane, first as a Cap, both also scored for the Caps in the win, while Hischier 2 goals and an assist, and Meyer 3 assists, both had 3-point nights. Nosen had 2 assists, and Halla, Mercer, and Hamilton also scored for Devils in the OT loss. So it was a tight game, really close, tightly contested affair, but it was the Caps who come with the victory. Then we saw the Islanders also blow a few leads, but recovered, and beat the Montreal Canadiens 4-3 in a shootout, as they improved to 2-1-2 on the year, dropping the Habs to 2-3-1 on the season. So bad stuff there for Montreal. Dobson had 2 assists. Horvat, Lee, and Palmieri were 3 regulation goal scorers, with Palmieri, Dobson, and Holmstrom being the 3 shootout goal scorers for the Islanders in the win, while Caulfield scored twice. Slavkovsky had 2 assists, and Mailloux, first NHL goal, also scored for the Habs in regulation, while Heineman and Kapanen were 2 goal scorers for the Habs in the shootout loss. So interesting note there, but it was a really close, tightly contested affair between the Islanders and the Habs. Then we saw the Buffalo Sabres also blow a lead. They were up 2. The Hawks would come back tied at 2, but then a late second period goal and an insurance marker would help the Sabres win 4-2 over the Hawks, ending their losing streak and improving to 2-4-1, while the Hawks now fall to 2-3-1 on the season. So that's it there for Chicago. For the Sabres, Thompson and Peterka both had a goal and an assist, and Malenstein, first as a member of Buffalo Sabres, and McLeod both also scored for Sabres in the win, while Craig Smith scored both Hawks goals, his first 2 as a member of the Chicago Blackhawks, and Reichel added 2 assists for the Blackhawks in the loss, as they, like we said, fall. So interesting note there. Then we saw Utah franchise, who was trailing for most of that first period and the second period, wound up scoring a game-time goal late in the third period to tie it up with the Boston Bruins, and would get back and win it in overtime, as they wind up downing the Boston Bruins 2-1 in overtime to improve to 4-1-1 on the season, dropping Boston at 3-2-1 on the season. So a very very good win there from Utah to stay with Boston long enough to get the equalizer and then get the overtime winner. Chinook and Kessler scored the OT winner, were 2 goal scorers for the Utah franchise in the win, while Koepke was a lone goal scorer for the Bruins in the loss. So it was an interesting game. It was a fun, entertaining game, and Utah does come away with a 2-1 overtime victory. And then we saw another 2-1 overtime game, this time between the Seattle Kraken and the Calgary Flames. Flames are looking to try and remain undefeated, but even though they had a 1-0 lead early on, Kraken were tied in the second, which would send into overtime. And in overtime, thanks to this goal here from Jordan Eberle from local Sportsnet, the Seattle Kraken were able to get a 2-1 overtime victory. They've won 3 straight, improved to 4-2-0, while the Flames fall to 4-0-1 on the season. Their winning streak at the start of the year has ended, even though they now have a point streak. For the Kraken, Stevenson's first member of Seattle, and Eberle, the OT winner, were 2 goal scorers for the Kraken in the win, while Coleman was a lone goal scorer for the Flames in the OT loss. So it was a really close, really interesting game, but it did see Seattle wind up ending Calgary's winning streak. And that leads us over to 3 games that happened over on Sunday, which was yesterday. First, we saw the Winnipeg Jets blow a 2-goal lead, but recovered, scored a couple of third-period goals, including this one here from Mason Appleton, from local Sportsnet, as they were able to double up the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-3 and remain undefeated, improving to 5-0-0, the only undefeated team left in the NHL, while the Pittsburgh Penguins follow 3-4-0 in the season, so bad stuff there for Pittsburgh. For the Jets, Appleton had a goal and an assist, and Ehlers, Morrissey, and Miller all had 2 assists, with Lowry, Nemesnikov, Scheifele, Niederreiter, and Connor also scoring for the Jets in the win, while Eller scored twice, and Hayes also scored for the Penguins in the loss. So it was an interesting game there, but the Jets do narrowly escape with a victory. Then we saw the LA Kings break a scoreless tie in the third period and wound up scoring a couple of empty netters to beat the Anaheim Ducks 4-1, as they improved to 3-1-2 on the year, dropping the Ducks to 2-2-1. So very good stuff there for the Kings. Anderson had a goal and an assist. Laferriere, Fiala, and Kempe also scored, and Riddick stopped 13 of 14 shots for the Kings in the win, while Strome was the lone goal scorer for the Ducks in the loss, as they fall, like we said. So interesting note there. And the last game yesterday saw the Colorado Avalanche get their 2nd straight win of the year, as they were able to get out to a 2-0 lead and held on for a 4-1 victory over the San Jose Sharks, as they improved to 2-4-0 and dropped the San Jose Sharks to 0-4-2 on the season. So interesting note there. For the Avalanche, McCarr at 3.0 with a goal and 2 assists. Colton scored twice, McKinnon had 2 assists, and Kiviranta also scored, with Union stopping 25 of 26 shots for the Avalanche in the win, with Eklund was the lone goal scorer for the San Jose Sharks in the loss. So Sharks continue to lose, starting off really bad like they did last year, but still it was an interesting game, and the Avalanche do come away with a mess-needed victory. So lots of interesting games from our past couple of days. That's all we're going to talk about in this video. What were some of the surprises for you? Are you surprised that it took this long for the Avalanche to get a win? Are you surprised that the Preds still don't have a point? Are you surprised that the Canucks are now starting to kick up some steam? Kings are starting to kick up some steam. Kraken have won 3 in a row. Are you surprised that Utah, Dallas, Minnesota, Winnipeg are all still clicking on all cylinders right now? Are you surprised that Tampa was able to lose to the Ottawa Senators? Definitely. Let's hear your thoughts on all of that down in the comment section below. So I'm going to talk about for today. Until this video, if you're later to subscribe down below. Thank you all your support. We know to thought of you guys. So if you haven't already, don't forget the subscribe button down below, and don't leave a comment down in the comment section below, so you can also discuss today's video. Also a blog, comment news, rumors, analysis, stuff like that, so check that out. Leave a link to that down in the description below, and kind of see you guys all for the next video. See you guys soon.